Android App Addicts, episode number 76. The show where we just get together and talk about Android apps that we're using in our life. And it could be Android, productive apps, games, fun apps, music apps, all kinds of stuff. So if you're looking for apps for your phone and you want to know what just four regular old guys are doing with their phones and the apps that we use, you came to the right place. Because on the show this week is the co-host, starting with Door-to-Door Geek, Steve Mclaughlin from DoorToDoorGeek.com. What's up, Door?
Hey, Steve. Just mentally going through exercises, preparing for Florida. And the trip to Florida, more poignantly.
Trip to Florida, to Disney World.
Yep.
I wonder what kind of training one can do to prepare themselves. Like, what are you doing? Like, what kind of mental exercises?
I tried sleep, but nobody's letting me do that. So I'm just keep telling myself I'm not going to get loud at all during the whole trip. I'm just going to sit there singing show tunes to myself the whole way down.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you when you come down. So
very cool.
Should be cool. Eric Gardini from SiliconWrench.com. What's up, Eric?
Regular old guys. That I definitely fit that description. No, everything's good, man. Having a good week, good weather.
Yeah,
nice. Yep.
So what's going on in your background there today? What view are we looking at?
We're looking at the dining room. We've got a hutch and vertical blinds.
Sweet. Beautiful. Also doing is Sean Johnson, SJGeek89 on Twitter. He's not feeling too well today. What's going on, Sean?
Not looking so well either.
You look fine. You look fine.
I'm doing all right. It's Thursday, man. Tomorrow's Friday. Doesn't get any better.
Did you tape? Is that a tape that you just keep playing over and over, or is that just you saying?
I know. I gotta have a new opening act here. It's getting old.
That's good. No, I'm in agreement with you. The weekend is just nice. It's good times.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to let you guys pick who goes first this week. Let's see what happens when I just throw it out there randomly.
Door.
Okay. Looks unanimous. Door, you're up.
Yes, it is. Okay. This first app and my next app is in commemoration. If you did not listen to the last two, Linux for the Rest of Us, maybe? I know the last one. Then
the Linux for the Rest of Us is.
The Rest of Us. I believe 1 week I talked a lot about Northeast GNU Linux Fest. And last episode we had Jonathan Nadeau on, who, as Steve put it, is the Steve Jobs. But, I digress.
He didn't like that.
Well, he said he wasn't sure to take it as a compliment or an insult. But
I was just calling it as I saw it, and I was also trying to mess with you a little bit because I knew you'd love that.
Oh, yeah, made me happy.
No, I do not think of Jonathan that way at all, so he knows that.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, one of the themes of the fest is free software. And by free software, it's capital F free, which means everything is available for anyone to look at and do anything they want with, kind of thing. Okay. And I was told about the website aopensource.com. And from there, every app is completely open source. So you can get the code, you can download it, you can modify it, you can tweak it, change whatever you want about it, backgrounds, background music, sound effects, whatever. I changed nothing. But I did download a couple apps from there. The first one is called Nethack. Nethack. And I believe every one of these apps you can go and search the Android market for, and it is there. Oh, sorry, Google Play. And you can download them from there. But if you go to aopensource.com, I believe on every app, you get a more up-to-date version. They basically just put it in the market one time so people would know about it, that it does exist.
Okay.
But they put the real goodness over there on aopensource.com.
Ooh, my desktop is not working, so as you talk, I'm going to get that up and running.
Okay. Now, the best way I can, because I haven't described anything about this game yet. This game is for the ultra ridiculously, insanely hardcore D&D type person out there.
Really?
Oh yeah. Because the graphics are old school. Number one. But number two, when you go to start your quest, you are presented with a list of options to create your character. One barbarian, mage, wizard, on and a paladin, ranger, literally like a list of 10 choices. Then you pick, do you want them to be chaotic, neutral, lawful? Do you want them to be good, bad, evil, whatever?
Dude,
then,
these are ASCII graphics, store.
Well, I said they were hardcore. And then you have to pick male, female, blah, blah, blah. And then you're literally just dropped in a dungeon. Ain't no fancy intro, no fancy graphics, no fancy sound effects, no fancy. And then your job is to basically crawl around a dungeon and find and kill stuff and get stuff. There are actually legitimate commands you can type during the game. For instance, I believe it is S space 20 means you're going to search that area 20 times. That's old school D&D, folks.
Mm-hmm.
When you actually say, well, I'm going to search in here, and the DM asks you, how long are you going to search? You have to say how much time you're going to devote to it. You say how much time, the DM rolls the dice, plays the odds, and if you get lucky, you might find something special. He might just be rolling the dice just to mess with you because there's really nothing there to find. You know?
Is that what can we go on a tangent? So is that what the dungeon master has the power to do? Anything like that? Just make stuff up on?
Oh, completely.
Wow, yeah, really?
Completely on the fly. One of the players' goals and objectives is to try to game the DM. You know, you got to try to think a little bit smarter, a little bit out of his range, so you can get what you want done. And his job is to basically just make you have no idea really what's going on. He tells you, here's where you start, here is your objective, or, you meet this person, they tell you about this. That's your mission.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then the whole game is basically just you trying to outsmart him trying to outsmart you, and you rolling dice to see if stuff happens.
I got you. Thanks.
No problem.
All right, back to Nethack.
Yeah, and if that's what you like, this would probably end up being a insane time sink. If this does not sound like something you like, Sean, what do you have coming up for us?
Nice. You guys taking control.
Because there's nothing else to say about it. I was just stretching it out.
I just wanted to comment on the whole D&D thing, man. My wife and I were at Panera Bread, I don't know, a couple months back. And there was a group of, like young teenagers all at a table. That's totally what they were playing D&D now. I mean, these books have changed since I was a kid. But
it was officially D&D?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I couldn't hear my wife, dude. I was just like, oh, I want to be over there so bad. I want to be, because I could just hear him. Because I grew up when my brother was, 3 years older than me. So like all his buddies would let me sit there. They would let me sit and watch for like a year.
A year?
Yeah, seriously. They would not let me play. They were real serious about it, and they went through like 2 long adventures within that year, and finally like the following, because they would, it wasn't even a whole year. Like they would play in the fall all through winter. And as soon as summer came, then it was wiffle ball and football and stuff like that. But I had to wait to the following year to jump in. I loved it, man. My brother still has the books. I'm trying to get them from him.
Wow.
Cool. Yeah, I'll say I played it for a while, and the way we played it was we would show up to a guy's house at like 8 at night. Beer, all other kinds of things were around. And then about 8 or so in the morning, people finally started to go home.
Yeah.
And the whole night just going through adventures. And of course, the first 6 months, anything I did I ended up getting bit by either a badger or a beaver or something, a chipmunk. I always got attacked, bees, whatever.
Yeah, I when I played, the dungeon master threw me out. He refused for as long as I was there. He refused to continue the game. I had to leave.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What'd you do to him?
I was just a real jerk. I think I was just like anything he said, I would say it was stupid. You know what I mean?
Did you sleep with his sister?
No, nothing that exciting. But I just pissed him off real bad. So that was my experience. But I like playing some of the D&D type games on the computer.
I like the dice.
Yeah, the dice. If there was any, just nice dice.
Yeah, of course. Whenever I think of the dice, I now think of a Dan Hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, since you threw it over to Sean, what do you got up next?
Yeah, you threw me a curveball there, man. Okay. Basically, another game. I think there may be a theme here tonight. It's called Fragger. It's kind of like, I guess you could say it's like an Angry Birds in a sense, where there's, every board's different and you kind of have to destroy things. So there's like little guys, and you have to chuck your grenades, and you have to, you put your finger on your screen to where you want to aim it, and then you can kind of draw it forward or draw it back as far as, how much of a loft, power in that loft you want to go. And you get like 4 or 5 grenades or something like that per board. And sometimes, it starts off real simple. You throw a grenade at a guy, and if it hits the ground or hits something, it'll roll. So you have to kind of, get a feel for how hard you want to throw it and where you're going to, ricochet off of, because it doesn't just hit something, blow up. You could use a box to kind of hit something and bank it back towards the person. And sometimes there'll be a guy down below in a cavern or something, and there's a little hole, and you got to get it into that hole and then roll backwards. So it's just, a silly little addictive game for when you're sitting around, like I had said before the show, in a waiting room or something like that, or on break at work, play a couple boards, and that's it.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It does look pretty cool. I think I would like this better than Angry Birds, to be honest.
Yeah, my wife was like, "Oh, I got Angry Birds Space," and I'm like, "Huh, great."
Is she iPhone or Android?
Both, actually. She's got a Droid phone, but she's got my old Touch that she plays on, the kids play on. And
Sweet. Cool. What do you guys think about this? Let's see what the panel says.
Sharp. I think it looks pretty sharp. I like the fact that also it's not just an army guy. For some reason, I mean, I like it, but they have like Roman guy standing there with a grenade.
Yeah, I saw that too. I'm like, am I seeing that right?
Well, and then they have a pirate, which it's hard to go wrong with pirates or ninjas. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, after you get so far, you can unlock different boards and levels. I never, my wife's gotten super far on it, and I hadn't played it since I used to have my Touch, so I got this about a week ago or something like that, and on break or something. If I whip out the netbook and watch some TV shows, and sometimes I'm just like, I don't feel like it. I'll just play some little silly game or something. And the sound effects are really cool if you have headphones on when the grenades go off. It's really cool.
Really?
Nice thump.
Nice. Very cool game. Looks very, like you said, you can just get into it for a couple minutes, play it, move on.
Yep.
And it is free, so that's always a plus.
Totally.
Man, 5-star ratings, over 11,000. All the rest of the ratings, 4, 3, 2, and 1, is barely over like 3,600.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good.
It is good ratings. Nice. Thank you, Sean.
All right,
Eric, over to you.
I think we got a theme going with these games. I think, and I was saying this before the show, I think it has something to do with it being called Google Play now. So it's automatically all about the games and not the apps. I wanted to bring this up. If somebody hasn't listened to last week's episode of Android App Addicts, we brought up a thing called Humble Bundle. And it was basically you can get some games, pay whatever you want, and then you get these games added to you can download.
Truck? What is this?
So Humble Bundle came out. They must be doing so good that they came out with 2 more games to add, and they added those to the Humble Bundle for people who have already paid for it. The first one is called Snuggle Truck, And the next one is called Smuggle Truck. They're basically the